Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Anita Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's top stories, Tzu Chi volunteers in China's Jiangsu province carry out home visitations in search of female candidates for Springbud Scholarship. Tzu Chi volunteers in New Taipei City, Taiwan take to the streets advocating the correct way to sort plastics. Lastly, Philippines Tzu Chi volunteers tend to victims of a fire in Quezon City. In China, Shanghai Tzu Chi volunteers have begun conducting home visitations in Jiangsu provinces Shuyang and Suqian City as part of this year's Springbud Scholarship program for girls from impoverished families. As many of these girls are either orphaned or come from broken families, the scholarship support will give them an opportunity to receive quality education.
Here in China's Jiangsu province, Tzu Chi volunteers are conducting home visitations in the farming village of Shuyang as part of Tzu Chi's Springbud Scholarship program for girls. Besides Shuyang, Shanghai Tzu Chi volunteers are also visiting families in Suqian City. Upon seeing guests at his door, Mr. Zhang brings out chairs and makes sure everyone has a seat.
We can't be there for her entire life, right? We're fortunate to have all the help in looking after and caring for her.
While chatting, Mr. Zhang's child vowed to repay him for raising her. However, Mr. Zhang says this instead.
Mainly, you should do your part for the country and the Taiwanese people. I'm old. I may die at any time, and repaying my kindness is useless.
After many home visitations, Tzu Chi volunteers find that children from impoverished families are mature beyond their age, but that they have also lost their innocence as a result. Although scholarship support can solve tuition worries, what Tzu Chi volunteers really seek for each child is to open up their heart. Thus, activities filled with Tzu Chi's humanistic values are played to bring back the smiles on the students' faces.
Tzu Chi has been providing scholarships on behalf of needy but deserving students in Guangdong's Heping County for the past 13 years. Such aid continues as recently the NGO handed out its first round of scholarships to 179 students from 3 high schools. Accompanying the scholarships is a message of love that has students vying to give back when they can and teachers joining in as volunteers for future distributions. Let's learn more.
I was just like a specimen floating in formaldehyde. At that time, the police took a look at my situation and wondered if I had any other problems. So they then sent me to a hospital for a checkup. When the doctor saw me, he said I was too special and wanted to keep me there, not to raise me, but to keep me in a bottle for others to look at.
The story of mouth and foot painter Yang Endian sends ripples of sympathy through the hearts of these scholarship students in China's Heping County.
I grew up in a poor family. My parents, however, have given me a love that has nothing to do with material wealth.
Here in Guangdong's Heyuan City and Heping County, 179 students from 3 of the area's top high schools are set to receive Tzu Chi's New Shoot Scholarship Aid. This will ensure that the students' scholastic achievements will not be hindered by monetary concerns.
For the
past 3 years, Tzu Chi has given us so much. We want to give back, and will do our utmost to take what we have learned from the volunteers and teach it to others. This is something that we can all do.
A picture frame made out of recycled paper is a simple gift with deep meaning. Before the day of the distribution, teachers from the 3 high schools hold a get-together with volunteers.
We teachers need to raise our spirits, as only if we do so will our students be in good spirits as well.
I really admire the Tzu Chi volunteers. Not only are they here to offer our students scholarships, but this aid also comes with a lot of love. As the students receive their scholarships, their hearts will be more open as a result.
As Tzu Chi's love continues to spread, 2 teachers sign up to be local volunteers. It seems that Tzu Chi scholarships are not only changing students' lives for the better, but their teachers' lives as well. Staying in China, Changsha Tzu Chi volunteers also organized a scholarship award ceremony at the Hunan University of Traditional Chinese Medicine. This time, a total of 83 students received Tzu Chi's assistance.
Although it has been more than 6 months since the volunteers visited the Hunan University of Traditional Chinese Medicine in China, their message still lingers in the hearts of scholarship recipients. Some students say the support of the Tzu Chi volunteers has helped them realize that the world is full of love.
Tzu Chi volunteers have given me a lot of encouragement by providing physical or emotional support. I'm extremely grateful for their assistance.
This time, 83 impoverished students received Tzu Chi's assistance for striving for excellence despite all odds. The Tzu Chi volunteers were surprised when one of the scholarship recipients kindly returned the tuition aid.
Sometimes I feel ashamed because I know there are more students who are worse off than I, yet I am still receiving the scholarship from Tzu Chi. Although I'll be better off with Tzu Chi's assistance, I think I'll still be okay if I don't take the scholarship. I want to give it to other deserving students.
Seeing how seeds of compassion have flourished in the hearts of these future doctors, Tzu Chi volunteers are more determined than ever to carry out Tzu Chi's charity missions.
New Shoot Scholarship Award ceremonies continue in Malaysia as Tzu Chi volunteers from Kuantan Liaison Office held 2 award ceremonies at the Zhongjing Chinese Elementary School, with a total of 229 elementary school students and 77 middle school students winning the honor this year. Let's take a look.
In Malaysia, the Tzu Chi Kuantan Liaison Office held 2 New Shoot Scholarship ceremonies at the Zhongqing Chinese Elementary School, helping a total of 306 families with tuition support.
This money can buy uniforms, learning aids, and a backpack for my child.
Among the recipients of the scholarship is Yu Kexin, who has a giving heart.
I am very happy to receive the scholarship. I plan to use the money to purchase items I need for school. If I have extra left over, I will donate it to an orphanage because the children there are very sad. They were abandoned when they were young by their parents and they don't have many clothes to wear.
As part of the scholarship ceremony, the children were given an opportunity to bathe the feet of their parents or grandparents.
I am very touched to receive this tuition assistance from Tzu Chi. The foot bathing ceremony Tzu Chi volunteers set up was also very moving, with my granddaughter helping wash my feet.
Tzu Chi's New Shoot Scholarship not only helps students continue their education, but also inspires a heart of compassion as they work to fulfill their filial duties towards their parents.
Safeguarding the environment is a job for all, and doing his bit to help has been 81-year-old Shen Qinan of Taichung, Taiwan. That same sort of passion can be seen in Banqiao, New Taipei City, as Tzu Chi volunteers hit the streets to educate members of the public on the different categories of plastic. Volunteers even made a chart to make it easier for local residents to remember.
Taking their campaign to the streets, Banqiao Tzu Chi volunteers are teaching residents how to differentiate between plastics that are recyclable and those that are not. According to statistics, per year, Taiwan uses up 18 billion plastic bags, which is 3.9 times higher than European countries. Plastic bags in general, disposable raincoats, bubble wrap, styrofoam, plastic folders, and foam wrappers for fruit are all recyclable. However, packaging lined with aluminum, like chip bags, and shrink-wrapped plastics are not. Making sure residents fully understand the different categories, volunteers ask them to touch and feel each one.
This is PP. If you're still unsure, just touch it to see. All these items are recyclable. Take a closer look. Together, we can reduce waste.
Tzu Chi volunteers know that each new person recycling will mean less plastic carcinogens harming the environment. Meanwhile, in Taichung, Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteer Shen Qinan is on his way to the recycling station, but not before he picks up a few friends along the way.
They don't know how to ride bikes or scooters, so I picked them up on my way there.
81-year-old Shen Qinan doesn't let surgery slow him down. Once recovered, he jumps right back into sorting recyclables.
Working as a volunteer puts more meaning in my life than making money at a job.
Putting his heart into this labor of love, it's hard to imagine Shen was once an important boss.
He used to just order people around, but now he enjoys this type of physical labor.
Recycling for the past 8 years, Shen's love for environmental conservation increases the more he participates.
In the Philippines' Quezon City, a fire broke out due to unattended candles, leaving 178 families in Barangay Besa without roofs over their heads. Upon learning of their situation, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at the disaster site with rice, sleeping mats, eating utensils, and other daily necessities. Let's take a look.
This is the scene at Barangay Besa, Quezon City. On November 21st, a fire broke out in this area and destroyed everything in its path, including Romeo Santos' home.
When I rushed out, my house was already engulfed in flames. My wife was so scared, she burst into tears. My wife and I fled our home with our grandchildren. One of them is only 8 months old.
According to officials, the blaze was caused by unattended burning candles, which destroyed a total of 50 homes. Although no one was hurt, survivor Jocelyn says this is her second time losing everything to a fire.
I have a son who suffers from mental disability, and the accident has traumatized him even more. I don't know why, but Tzu Chi volunteers' arrival gave us hope. We are so happy today because we never thought we would receive such help. Thank you so much.
3 days following the incident, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at the barangay with daily necessities and food for 168 households.
Thank you so much, Tzu Chi volunteers. Your assistance is greatly appreciated.
Touched by the volunteers' gestures, survivors have regained the strength to move on with their lives and even donate their spare change to continue the cycle of love.
Xu Yue-ying and her family live in extreme poverty in Malaysia's Johor Bahru. With no money for food and unable to afford their rent, the family is facing eviction from their current home. When Tzu Chi volunteers learned of their plight, they immediately helped the family find a suitable new home and assisted them with the move. Let's take a look at how volunteers conquered all obstacles to achieve their mission. On the verge of despair, the family turned to Tzu Chi for help.
She is poor and their circumstance makes it impossible for them to move by themselves. So we are here to help. We feel good about it.
During the move, volunteers encountered challenges brought on by Mother Nature.
Hello.
After discussions, volunteers decided to conquer the elements and complete the move before sunset. Meanwhile, another group of volunteers took Xu Yue-ying's granddaughter grocery shopping.
Go pick out what you would like to eat.
I know how it feels because we were once poor like them. My heart goes out to them, and we want to help them in any way we can.
Everyone was out of breath and sweating buckets after the move. However, the Dharma joy they feel in their hearts is manifested on their faces.
Thank you to the aunts and uncles for helping us move. When I grow up, I want to write for a living and not do laborer's work.
Despite the long day filled with challenging circumstances, it is nothing compared to the hardship Xu Yueying's family has been going through. Seeing a light of hope ignited in the family's heart, volunteers know that their efforts have all been worthwhile. In Malaysia, the Kedah Tzu Chi Academy organized a graduation ceremony where 106 students and volunteers put on a performance of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents to convey the importance of filial piety. Meanwhile, graduating students at the Tzu Chi Johor Bahru Kindergarten also put on the same musical to show their appreciation to their teachers and parents. First, however, let's join students at the Sungai Pentani Tzu Chi Academy at their recent graduation. This year, the Sungai Petani Tzu Chi Academy based its curriculum on the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings. And today, students of the graduating class are putting on a sign language performance to demonstrate what they have learned. Even parents have witnessed the change in their children over the past year.
When our kids come home from school, they will help out with household chores, wash dishes, and clear the table. They weren't like this before joining Tzu Chi.
Apart from the youngsters, grown-ups at the Malacca Social Education Center also showcase their efforts of the past few months through tea ceremony and flower arrangements.
Although it was just a short 10 lessons, the experience left me with some lasting impressions. The teachers treated us like their own family members.
These craft classes allowed us to interact with people, to form kind affinities with one another and talk about life, including the teachers I invited to the classes. They too have changed for the better.
Gaining a new perspective on life, whether it is at school or at the Social Education Center, students, regardless of their age, have broadened their horizons and changed for the better. Holding their child in their arms and realizing the grace of all parents, graduates of the Tzu Chi Johor Bahru Kindergarten put on a short play as a graduation gift for their teachers and parents.
They're 6 now and they're doing great. They communicate with each other to come up with solutions to problems together. We hope they can keep up this attitude as they grow up.
The most important thing is that these children know to be grateful for their past and live every day to the fullest. We hope that they will grow up to be considerate and excel at whatever they do.
Beginning a new chapter of their lives, these youngsters pass on the lamp of the heart to the younger peers.
传给弟弟妹妹，希望弟弟妹妹都可以做到心下念，手做好事，脚走好路。
Many parents were amazed at their children's transformation. From initially needing their parents' help with everything, these children have become independent and thoughtful.
Just like we were inspired by our children, they have the power to influence others as well. The Tzu Chi Kindergarten provided our children with the most valuable gifts one can bestow on children.
As everyone only has one childhood, the Tzu Chi Johor Bahru Kindergarten has left a lasting impression on the students of the 10th graduating class. 106 educators and students of the Kedah Tzu Chi Academy put on a performance of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude towards parents, as they hope to convey the importance of fulfilling our filial duties. Trying to get the active and lively bunch to carry out the performances, teacher Li Fang encountered many setbacks during rehearsals.
Nothing is ever too difficult for a willing heart. As long as we are determined, we can achieve what we set out to do. This is what I tell myself.
Yu Chang had a car accident during the rehearsals and had once thought of giving up. However, when he came to understand the underlying meaning of the Buddhist scripture, he had a change of heart.
When I listened to the Sutra of Profound Gratitude towards parents, it was then that I realized it is our duty as children to be filial towards our parents. I want to perfect my sign language as a way to repay my mother's grace. Mom, I love you.
When our mom and dad call out to us, we should respond to them. This is a way of showing our filial piety.
As filial piety is the foundation of all good deeds, with the true meaning of filial piety being conveyed, the message of the scripture left everyone in the audience moved. The biggest problem for former inmates once they have served their sentence is to find a job and reintegrate themselves back into society. To help make the process a little easier, a car wash in Taichung is willing to hire any former inmates willing to work and will even help its employees start a small business. As it turns out, its owner also once served time in prison. Here's more. Ling Qingsheng runs a car wash in Taichung, Taiwan, and expects nothing but the best from himself and his employees. Most of his employees are former inmates, just like Ling himself, so he can understand their difficulties in reintegrating themselves in society.
If they are constantly rejected when looking for work, they will grow disheartened. They might think, since everyone rejects me and is prejudiced against me, I might as well go back to a life of crime.
Due to his rash actions as a hot-blooded youth, Ling served time in prison. When he came out, he started working as a real estate agent. Later, he opened up a car wash to help former inmates looking for work.
The change on the car. Not a penny should be touched. None of that is going on, right?
Ling holds his employees to the highest standards. For those who can cook, he also helps them set up food stands right at the car wash to make some extra money.
He can't find a job but knows how to cook. So I said, why don't I set up a stall for you? You can run the stand at night and eventually support yourself. I'm doing this mainly because of myself. Of course, I'm also supported by many kind people. So I hope that society can be more receptive and sympathetic towards former inmates.
Having served as the chairman of Chinese Correctional Association and a commissioner of Taiwan Aftercare Association, Ling is helping former inmates reestablish themselves through practical solutions.
Since we have the means to do so, we should lend a hand. If there are more people in society willing to give former inmates a chance, I believe these ex-convicts will stay away from their past and find a better future.
An apartment fire which broke out in Texas of the United States affected the lives of 16 families, most of whom were Vietnamese. Receiving news of the incident from the local Red Cross, Houston Tzu Chi volunteers readied blankets and cash cards to help the survivors. Touched by these gestures, many of the survivors not only adopted a bamboo coin bank, but also donated their cash cards to contribute to the cycle of love. We leave you with these images at the end of our show. Thank you for watching. See you next week.